Hello everyone, welcome to another tutorial, and today I'm going to show you how to copy a design from another website you like. And for this instance we will use this eathhere.pro, which is my personal site. We will just copy this kind of design on any kind of project actually. So you just stealing a copy of any kind of design from another website so that you can use that on your own project or website. Okay, and what we will do, we will just grab this shadow type of box design in our sample HTML file. So at first what we'll have to do, we just open the site, and then we need to create a index file for HTML, or we can just, or if you are using that for your own website, then you already have the page, but for now we are just creating a HTML file. So I just used bracket, and I always love to use bracket. So let's just create the index.html file, where we will be just paste the copied design. Okay, so we'll have to create the basic HTML structure, and you can see how a basic HTML structure works, and that can be also helpful. So we are just verifying, or we're just declaring the character set type. So here will be the character set type. So the type will be UTF-8, and it's important for some browsers which browsers doesn't recognize the character type of your website. This is actually very important, and Google also prioritize these things too. And then the title of the page, and the title will be copying design. Okay, that's the title. And we will add another CSS. An external CSS will not include the CSS inside the page, so let's just add another CSS. I'm using type attribute, but that's now depreciated by W3C, but still some browser doesn't recognize your style sheet type if you don't declare the type attribute. Then we will just refresh. That will be our style sheet name. So okay, we're done. Now we'll have to declare the body part, and that's the body. Okay, we're done with the basic HTML structure, and now what we'll do, we'll just create a style sheet which will be the same name, style.css, and that's already linked because we already defined the name here. Okay, so there's the basic of the HTML page. Now what we will do, we will just we want to just show one box in our sample HTML page, which will be like this, which will have a shadow and which will have a hover over effect. Like if you hover your mouse over this, the shadows increases, and it looks like, it gives you a feel like the box is actually lifting a bit. Okay, so what we'll have to do, we'll have to open the developer tools. Using Mozilla Firefox for this particular tutorial, but you can also use Chrome or Safari, anything you want or anything you like, but I personally prefer using Mozilla Firefox. Okay, so but almost all the developer tools are same and their functionalities are same, but I use Mozilla Firefox. So what you'll have to do, right click on the website and just inspect element. You can also press the hotkey, which is Q here in Firefox, but I'm just doing it like the old way. So right click and then click on inspect element, and that will actually open the developer tool, and the default tab is inspector tab. And this inspector tab will give you access to inspect each element of this page. So what we will have to do to inspect this particular box, just select on this cursor, pick an element from the page icon, and then just move your mouse to whatever you want to inspect. Okay, so I'm just clicking on this thing. Okay, Okay, done. And you can see here it already highlighted the HTML part of this thing. Okay, it highlighted the HTML part, but you can see this is an image. Okay, but we need the whole thing. We need the image, text, and these borders, all kind of thing. So what we'll have to do, just hover over to the parent. So nothing changed, but if you look at the browser itself, it shows the div.banner. It will show you the div.banner. Okay, because we are hovering over to the banner class div. Okay, and click on that. Nothing is gonna happen. And when you will hover over to the parent of this banner class, this anchor tag, it actually highlighted the whole part of this box. Okay, we got that. We click that. This is the main thing, which is the box actually. Okay, and if you hover another one, then you will see there's some yellow line, right? The whole box is selected, and also there's some yellow line around the box. So what the yellow line represents, they represents the margin of the div. Okay, so we also need the margin, because we can see there's when the shadow appears, the shadow basically takes some places, and these places are basically given to the box by the margin. So we need to select the box too. Okay, and if you, I mean, for your experiment purpose, if you just hover over to the parent one, then you will see everything is highlighted. That means this is the parent of all boxes. Okay, but we only need one box, we don't need the all box. So just go to there, it's highlighted already. Right click here and just click edit add as HTML, and that will give you all the HTML needed to create this box. Okay, so just copy this. We just copied that and paste that in our, that's simple. We just pasted that in our basic HTML page, but it's not looking like it's minimized basically. Okay, it's not looking like a valid HTML or some beginner HTML. Developer will not understand why this is one line. Okay, basically this is one line because of it's minified. Okay, it's taking less space on memory, but we can also beautify that. I will show that to you in another tutorial, but for now we are just okay, we will use that. That's okay, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, so we perfectly copied the HTML part for this box. Okay, so the structure of this box is already copied. Now what we'll have to do, we'll just have to copy the CSS of the page. But before that, let's see how our only HTML part looks like. Okay, so just open this index.html. This is the HTML I just created. Open that on a browser. Okay, so I will just open that on Firefox, and you can see how it looks. It's not looking good, it's not looking like the result. So we need to add CSS to look like this. Okay, this look like this. Okay. So now how to copy the CSS? So we already know this is the main parent element of this box. So what we'll have to do, we will have to see the rules part here. You can see there's a rules part. When you select something, the CSS for this particular class or element will be shown in this rules part. Okay, so we need the box, and here everything contains the box. We need to grab that. Okay, so we're grabbing everything which has the dot box class. Okay, this has a class name box, so we copied everything which has a box class. Okay, but there's one thing we'll have to remember: we're not copying everything because they will conflict. Okay, they will conflict. What we can do, the developer tools has a feature which shows you which thing is basically in use on this page and which are not. So you can see these are okay, but these styles, these properties of this box class are marked, they are crossed. Okay, so they are not in use, they are not in use in this page. So every single property on this box class is not in use, so we don't need all of this. What we need only these things, because these things are crossed. We don't need these things, they are basically a duplicate version of this CSS. Okay, so we are just copying all this thing and just copy it, and let's paste it on our style sheet. Okay, so we are done. We pasted the box attribute in here. So let's see how our design looks, because we already copied the CSS, right? Okay, let's see. I'm sorry, nothing happened. There's a border, nothing else. Nothing's look like the result. Why? Because there's some other thing we never copied. Okay, if you just go one down, one below, there's a anchor tag, and if you click on this thing, this contains another class, and you can see this class also contains so many properties, so many styling which we never copied on our style.css. So what we'll have to do, we don't only have to copy the CSS for the parent element, we'll have to do that for every single element inside the parent element. So there's a tag, div and image, and also the h2, so we'll have to grab all the CSS for all these elements. Now let's just copy the a tag, and here you can also see there's something like the box link. This is the class of the a tag, and it contains some values. Then another box link which basically is crossed, so we know this is not in use in this page, so we don't need that. But this is an a, so we know how CSS works. CSS can be called by class or can be called by the particular tag name. So there we can see a tag contains this property, so we will grab that too. So what we'll have to do, at first copy the whole CSS and paste it. Done. And now what we'll do, we will just grab the value of a tag because it's in use. You can see it's not crossed, so this is in use. And why this is in use? Because CSS can be called by the tag name. The tag name is a here, and it's a here, and it's not called by the class name, so we will keep that too. Okay, but as I saw, this is not in use, this is crossed, so I will remove that from my code. Okay, and now the same process, the same thing we'll have to do. Just go to the below one and see if this contains anything like this is duplicate and crossed. So we'll just grab this thing because that's the only thing that's the only styling which is under the .box or banner. Okay, I mean I'll show you how it works. I mean .box, why the .box? Let me show you. You can see the div contains only the banner class, right? But why we used .box space .banner? Because the banner is basically a children of this box class. Okay, this is a parent and this is a children element. So we can actually call the class name by its parent name. Like at first we'll have to call the parent like dot box. When we'll call the box class in CSS, we'll have to add a dot like dot box, then a space, then we can actually call the child name. Okay, that's how you can also define the CSS name. So that's how they use that. Okay, I use that on my own site, and it's done too. We don't have to worry about that. Now the image. Now what the image contains? It contains only these two lines, nothing else. Okay, we will not take these things because they are basically default on the browser, so don't worry. Basically what you will have to focus, you will have to mainly focus on the main class or main tag styling. Okay, so we just copied this thing and paste that in here, and what else remaining, we already grabbed that, and this is the last thing we will have to grab. So just see, it's all crossed, and this is the only thing using on this page. So now we will have to paste that, and that should now look like our main result. Okay, so reload the page, and yeah, pretty much it looks like our main result. But we don't have any column, so it's on the side, but it looks like the same. But the font color is not like that. So what we can do, it's because of the A tag is overwriting this one. Okay, so what we can do, we can just change the A tag color, or we can just change the color property on the class itself. Okay, so what we'll do, we will just change the color here, or we can just remove that if we are just defining the color in here, because this is the same A tag. So the color will be, we can actually get the color too from here. Like if you just inspect the element, and if you see what is the color, scroll down until you see, okay, so the color, this is working, right? This is the ACE2, you can see it's highlighted, ACE2 highlighted, and the color is working because it's not crossed. So the color is this. We just copied that and paste that anywhere in the block, anywhere in the box link block. This is a block. Okay, just reload the page. Yeah, it's worked. And the font is not okay, because the font is here they used another font. Like if you just check that, if you just check that, you can see there's a font named Open Sans maybe. So the font family names is Nunito. Okay, so the font family name is Nunito, so we'll have to use that font to get this kind of font look. But another thing, this is not in the middle, right? This should be in the middle of that. So what we'll have to do, we can just text align center. Okay, that can be only text align center. So we'll have to make it display block first, to make it the whole block. I mean, to make it like this is the part, but when we are using display block, it will take the whole line of this parent. Okay, and then we can just add simply text align center. That will make that center. So sometimes when you are copying something from someone's website, you will have to have some basic knowledge of CSS, so that if anything messes, because you can't actually grab every single thing by developer tools. You maybe can grab, but it will take a lot of time. Rather than that, you can just grab the main parts, and you can then use your basic CSS to make it look like that. Okay, so that's it. We already made that. already made that result, and I will show you how the hover over effect works. I mean, when you will mouse over to this bird, it shows a shadow value. I mean, it increases the shadow value. So I will show you that in the next part of this video. So stay tuned with us and subscribe to our channel, like our video, and comment what you are not understanding, or comment how you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching this video.